Hey everyone, I just want you to know that most of my energy this week, especially because of the time change, is going to be going towards working on the Thanks for Subscriber special. Might be smaller videos before that, but don't be surprised in having to pause uploading briefly for work on that after this. So, with that in mind, and I also like to point out the thumbnail may not be from this exact episode, but it's the highest quality one I could find. And let's talk about this series finale to Marvel's hit Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur, vaguely titled Shoot for the Moon. So let's begin. While once again, and it's been pointed out, and I also pointed myself, that in many respects the show has garnered a sizable fandom and also set new benchmarks in terms of quality and character representation, much like the Owl House, and is also ending at arguably the height of its quality, leaving the bulk of the audience wanting more, again, much like the Owl House. But at the same time, I will state this before as long as it needs to be stated again, and not every show needs to last as long as SpongeBob or Scooby-Doo, and it's once again, and thankfully, an example where because of how unpredictable the market has been, and that the creators had the foresight to write the season finale as a series finale, which, especially given how in a climate where anything could end at any moment, is something I appreciate. And it also ends up resolving multiple storylines as to previous episodes before it. As we left off in hiatus as sometime last year, where here I actually kind of like how Lunella's strained relationship with her mother Adria doesn't get immediately resolved when they come back from hiatus. It takes a little while, and a visit from her Aunt Flo, to really see what's clear to the audience, but trying to get her to accept her own that she is both Nonella and Moon Girl, and that her little girl is growing up. And when she's her Nana's age, and when Nonella's in college, or perhaps dealing with cosmic threats, she'll always be her little girl, man. Also, and I also like how another element there, where after her original tracker tape deck gets wrecked, she gets an upgrade with her mother's Discman, which she's able to retrofit into a new tracker. Her, as well as her taste in music when she was her age, always can relate to that. May not go all out with the makeup in that time frame, but the black clothes and the music reflects on my state at the time. Yeah, that tracks. And of course, patching up with the Beyonder, the interdimensional being, who went a bit overboard. Like, it started with just getting in the hot new pair of flashy basketball shoes endorsed by I her favorite R&B singer, and then things escalate from there. And especially like how it visually it tries to find line between not only the American comic stylings, and especially in the urban look and feel of the Lower East Side setting, but also some clear anime influence as well. As you could tell, I took that screenshot from some of the clips they shared of the villain that's going to be important in the finale, as well as to the aforementioned full moon, who the decoy doing the surprise Pikachu face. Ace. And in regards to one I'm also contemplating doing at a later date, it's company he shelves projects for tax returns, earns project links online, deposit response, company, cute surprise expression. And I will also note that with Decoy, though I'm not familiar with source material or Luna's Rogues Gallery, in this particular context, I can say it's the closest comparison I can draw is like how Spider-Verse handled Spot. I mean, initially starts out as a joke villain, but soon becomes bent on ruining Lunella's life. I mean, life and sometimes accepting help can not be a sign of weakness, but one of strength, as shown with these supervillains she helped perform and become some of the new guardians of the city. And also, even though someone I'm staying with had initial trouble grasping it because even though there was continuity, each piece can still be enjoyed as own part of the story, and also instilled in it, I'll put it pretty simply, I mean, it's not always about saving entire dimensions, sometimes it's about saving one person, someone you love. Pure and simple. And it ends, as I'm about to explain, in such a way that makes me, and actually not completely sad that it's over, but rather glad I got a chance to experience it, in a way. One key component I also have really enjoyed about the show is the music, that the songs that also pertain to the plot, especially in the fight scenes, and in the finale's case, we got one, but two reprise a theme song, one of which is a faster tempo version as they're fighting off the decoy together. They're, I mean, not quite an LES Avengers, but definitely a a a nice little street level team, I would say. I mean, because that's basically how it's broken down into at least my understanding, where we have our street level heroes, we have cosmic level heroes, and we also have ones that are in between that distinction. I try to remember the exact name right now. And even as the final outro, even someone who's not the biggest fan of the style of music, I recognize a good vocalization when I hear one, where about the acapella outro, I mean, and once she finally makes the decision to join Shield and all sorts of missions, ends alongside High Devil Dinosaur, or every single ally and person that she's helped as they see her off, which is always nice to see, and also always like the whole idea of the adventure continuing to end a show where the end can also mean a new beginning. And especially I think that even with some people claiming otherwise, I genuinely believe that creations like this are needed to freshen up the landscape. It doesn't matter whether or not you're working with your own teleplay or existing material. Oh, it definitely was unique among DTVA shows and Marvel shows, and with the brand itself having just turned 40 in DTVA's case, I'm glad I had to have experienced it. And to further connect this and why I would not object to seeing Lunella and D in other parts of the universe, we have both Samuel Jackson Prize roles Nick Fury and Colby Smulders prize role as Maria Hill, which further compounds that it wasn't actually her who bought it in Secret Invasion. Another tell was that she addressed her compatriot as Nicholas, as if you pay attention. I mean, maybe we'll even see her in a live action format or in a future Marvel vs. Capcom game. I'm certainly not against the idea. Yeah. And as for this one that has yet to see its release, no matter what happens with that one, I might talk about that one at a later date. June at the earliest, I would say. Hmm. Bottom line, I consider Shoot for the Moon to have made its moonshots, and I have enjoyed following this story over the last couple of years with relative newcomer Darren White and Height and Fred Tatasciore making dinosaur noises in the title roles. Holes mean there's another one could say I will not pass up a chance to revisit any chance I get, mean that sense. And hopefully, hey, I'm not certain what they're saying about their plans to pull out of this kind of market is true, but that's also why another reason why I like talking about these ones to document them, regardless of my other feelings about them, because to show that sometimes just because as it show doesn't always last long, it does not mean it cannot leave a positive impact on someone. I mean, so I'm also certainly not against the idea of seeing the character in other forms in the future. Like they already he had her crossover in this Spider-Man show was actually made for the junior demographic, even so anything is possible, to say the least. And now I'm gonna get back to work on my 365 special. You might see some smaller videos before then. We might not. We shall see. Anyway, that'll be all for now. Take care.